5 hidden signs you are doing better than you think you are. Before we start with the video, only a small percentage of you are actually subscribed, so please subscribe, it's free and you can always change your mind. One of those days again, you sit at your desk, want to achieve something worthwhile, but you can't just start. An invisible force seems to hold you back. Instead, you grab your phone, scroll a bit, and wait for inspiration that rarely comes. If you recognize yourself in this scenario, you are not alone. When I fell in love with writing, I wrote page after page for 1.5 years without publishing any. I felt more comfortable in my bubble than exposing my writing to the world. Eventually, I allowed my irrational fears to stop me from writing. Back then, reading the work of Ayodeji Avosika felt like a slap in my face. We achieve nothing of consequence, nor do we enjoy the present moment. We completely mismanage our time. I needed clarity, so I decided to put myself out there. Nothing bad happened the moment I started publishing. In fact, the opposite was the case. People reached out to me to describe how they outperformed themselves. We so often wait for that one huge breakthrough while we downplay our small achievements. In fact, we don't change in breakthroughs, we change in small shifts and by small achievements. In the end, they compound to the desired traction. Since you are showing up, you are already miles ahead of the pack. Keep going. Here are 5 signs you are doing much better than you think you are. Number 1. You call the shots. Everyone can achieve greatness. You may ask now, why do so few when everyone can? Like Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The humorless truth is, most people never even try at all. They never start to create their masterpiece. They rarely even think about what their personal masterpiece looks like. Let me tell you one thing, you have already put yourself miles ahead of the pack. Why? You don't ignore your inner voice. You show up and follow your calling. You build your masterpiece brick by brick. The magic of achieving greatness is not the complexity of the task. It is rather doing simple things repeatedly and long enough. You can't prevent finishing your chapter if you add only a few words every day. You can't prevent finishing your new song if you add another bar to it. You can't prevent getting better if you decide to call your shots. If you value consistency, the results will show up. At one point you will gain traction. Like Brandon Burchard said, you don't need to create a masterpiece every day. You need to get some oil in the canvas every day. Number 2. You take responsibility. It's hard to be the CEO of your own life. It needs massive courage to take full responsibility for all your actions. It's hard to say, I'm in bad shape and don't have a lot of energy because I have a bad diet and don't exercise. I have neglected my goals lately because I was too distracted with other things. I could spend more time with my friends and family. I mismanaged my priorities. Like Osho said, if you suffer, it is because of you. If you feel blissful, it is because of you. Nobody else is responsible, only you, and you alone. You are your hell and your heaven too. If this quote appeared less an insult and more as an inspiration to you, you have already built 2 success habits. 1. You face your truth head on. You are not blaming anyone when you are miserable. You create your own reality by the decisions you make every day. 2nd, you take action. You are not only trying to understand what's wrong, you are dismantling what's wrong and make it right. Don't blame yourself for not achieving the results you have mentally manufactured in your mind. It's easy to scribble some results in your mind. It's harder to sketch them on a blank sheet of paper. It's the hardest to finish your creation and put it out there. You bring up the courage to take the road less traveled. You are showing up and work on your creation. With these habits, nothing can stop your success over time. Number 3. You start with a clean slate every day. You didn't finish what you wanted to finish yesterday. You didn't practice as much as you wanted yesterday. You think you made too many mistakes yesterday, so you questioned your skills. So what? You can call yesterday your worst day ever, but it should never be the reason you hold yourself back today. The beautiful thing about today is that you can restart with a clean slate and change anything you'd like. You don't need to be toxically happy about yesterday if you aren't pleased about it, but you must gain some form of lesson out of it. In fact, you should make as many mistakes as possible. According to Nassim Nicholas Taleb, we grow by making mistakes. This is what Taleb calls anti-fragile in his same named book. He explains anti-fragile as the exact opposite of fragile. For example, shipping a package with glasses could shatter them. To counteract breaking glasses, you'd rather keep them in a cabinet with no tremor. Quite the opposite is true for human beings. Spending a month in bed leads to muscle atrophy. Controversially, we grow under the influence of stressors until a certain level. We grow under the influence of lessons we learned the hard way by making mistakes. You stress yourself by showing up even though you could take a break. You actively make mistakes and push yourself through your challenges. Every time you do so, you grow and become a little more anti-fragile. Number 4. You are asking bigger questions. Am I doing the right things? Is this meant for me? Am I who I want to be? Do I live my life on purpose? When you are overthinking, you might falsely assume you are stuck on the wrong path. Like Robert Kiyosaki said, a question opens the mind. A statement closes the mind. In fact, asking these bigger questions of life indicates that you are tackling life. You seek to become a better version of yourself. Each change forces you to level up. It forces you to overcome the initial fear of the unknown and to make it familiar to you. In her book The Mountain Is You, Brianna West describes this as adjustment shock. It is scary to receive everything we want because it forces us to shift out of a survivalist, fear-based mindset and into a more stabilized one. If all we are accustomed to is doing what we need to do to survive, we are then confronted with the next phases of our self-actualization. In short, the things that we want most are often the ones we resist most deeply. Seeing it from this perspective, leave your comfort zone isn't just a corny saying. If you feel uncomfortable lately, you are on the verge of your next level in life. Keep going. Number 5. You have become quieter lately. It is a human pattern to talk a lot and to be loud. Social media teaches us to use bold captions, clickbaity titles and tons of emojis and hashtags. The number of likes and followers doesn't measure the impact and helpfulness of your creation. The only significant metric is the number of words you write, notes you play, brush strokes you paint. One word, one note, one brushstroke has the power to brighten the world of people who weren't able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. In this way, your creation can create an immense ripple effect in the world. It isn't about being noisy or wordy. The game is to craft the change you want to see in the world. Like Osho said, listen to your being. It is continuously giving you hints. It is a still, small voice. It does not shout at you. That is true. And if you are a little silent, you will start feeling your way. If you have become quieter lately, then you understand your art. You have subscribed to the idea of letting your soul speak through your creation. Being quiet is a secret superpower since it interrupts the world's pattern of being noisy. By quieting down the world around you, you become more sensitive to your own being. Life can be demanding and challenging. If you still call your shots, take full responsibility, restart with a clean slate every day, ask the bigger questions of life, quiet down and let your creation speak, you can rest assured that you are doing much better than you think you are. Keep showing up, embrace your small shifts and let them compound to your next huge breakthrough. Take care of yourself, we'll see us again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope this video helps you to achieve a smarter living.